Okay, please check whether this PDF is visible to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Is this visible? Okay, fine. So, very good morning, everyone. I welcome you all for the Strength of Materials lecture series with the code 18CD32. To have a brief brush up of the things which we have covered in the previous session. So, in the previous session, we had actually started with torsion, right? And we got to know the concept of torsion, and we have derived the equation of torsion, and we have studied assumptions which are made in the theory of pure torsion, right? So after the assumptions, we have derived the equation, that is T by J is equal to Q by R is equal to G theta by L, right? So wherein uh, uh, if you're designing a member, okay, if you're designing any shaft, then the two criteria which plays a very important role is, one is the shear stress criteria and one is the angle of twist criteria, right? So based on these two criteria, we have designed the shaft and we have seen few examples related to torsion, right? So this PDF was already shared to you. I hope you all have practiced. Okay. Of course, last two numerical examples were remaining. So let me cover that today. Okay. Then I'll shift to the next concept. Right. So the next numerical example which was remaining in the previous session was, as you can see here, you have a small derivation as such a numerical example as well. So it says that prove that hollow shaft is stronger and stiffer than the solid shaft of same material, same length and same width. So your question is, you are supposed to prove. Okay, see now you have two shafts. One is hollow shaft, one is solid shaft. You know what is the meaning of hollow, you know what is the meaning of solid now, right? So you need to prove that hollow shaft is stronger and stiffer. I'll tell you what is the meaning of stronger and what is the meaning of stiffer. Okay, stiffer means stiffness. The stiffness is high. Okay, so I'll come to that point later. So first of all, what you need to prove is, prove that the hollow shaft which you have considered is stronger and stiffer than the solid shaft, of provided it should be of same material, it should be of same length, and it should be of same weight. So this is the criteria to you. Okay, so let's prove this. So you need to assume few things before I go to the actual solution part. As you can see here, let D be the diameter of a solid shaft. Okay, let D be the diameter of a solid shaft. And as such, we have already done in the previous session. D1 be the outer diameter of the hollow shaft and D2 be the inner diameter of the hollow shaft. Okay, so these are my few assumptions. If you want, you can draw the diagram as well. Now, as such, as the question says, the two shafts have equal weight. So if you consider both hollow and solid, imagine this. Okay, so consider the two shafts, one is hollow, one is solid. And since it is there in the question, it says that it is of equal weight and equal length and are of same material. That means it is homogeneous, right? Now, based on this sentence, what I can do here is I can simply equate weight of solid and weight of hollow shaft. Can I do that? Yes or no? When he says that weight of solid is weight of hollow shaft is the same, so I can simply equate the weight of solid shaft and weight of hollow shaft. Yes or no? Can I? Can I equate the weights? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So just equate the weight of solid shaft and just equate the weight. Okay. See, first of all, how do you take the weight? Okay. See, you have a basic formula, density. What is density? Density is the ratio of weight by volume. Correct? So density, as you can see here, density is nothing but weight by volume. So you need in this particular formula, you need what is weight. So how do you just take the weight outside? What you get is weight is equal to density into volume, right? So what is volume? How you can split the volume? You can split the volume is nothing but area into length, right? So now I can simply state that weight of any material is equal to density into area into length. Density is taken as rho. Of course, you can take it as gamma as well. So rho into area A into length of the shaft L, right? So now this is the weight formula. Now just go on substituting this for a solid shaft and a hollow shaft, right? So let me take the first one, that is weight of solid shaft. Okay. So weight of solid shaft, what here I can do is rho, that is density, into area. What is the area for a solid shaft? Pi by 4 d square into length L. So L, I'll take it as L itself. I'll not take it as LS. Why? Because length of solid shaft is equal to length of hollow shaft. It has already been given in the right. So rho pi by 4 d square into L. Take it for solid. Similarly, do it for hollow. That is weight of hollow shaft W2. Weight 2 is equal to. Here the only thing is your area is going to change because since it is hollow, some area will be deducted, right? So what I can do here is, what is the area for a hollow shaft? Is it pi by 4 d1 square minus d2 square? Am I correct? Yes? Am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Yes. So rho into pi by 4 d1 square minus d2 square into L. So this is the weight of a hollow shaft. Now, what is the next thing? As I've already stated, just equate the first equation and second equation. So when you equate, this is how you're going to get. So I have equated here. So a few of the things will get cancelled. So what remained is d square is equal to d1 square minus d2 square. So this equation I'll get, a generalized equation. D square is equal to d1 square minus d2 square. Now, this is the equation which relates the diameter of a solid shaft and the diameter of a hollow shaft. Please do remember this, because D is the diameter of a solid shaft. D1 and D2 are the diameter of the right. So this is the equation wherein it relates solid shaft and the hollow shaft. Okay. Now, so what I can do here is consider TS. What is T? T is a torque. So let's say that TS is a torque for solid shaft, TH is a torque for hollow shaft. Okay. Now, basically you have a relation. What relation you have? T by J is equal to Q by R. Do you know this relation? Yes or no? While deriving the Tornell equation, we have come across the shear stress criteria. What was that? T by J is equal to Q by R. Am I correct? Yes or no? T by J is
Yes.
equal to Q by R. Right, very correct. Right. So in this equation, I have taken the torque at the LHS side. So what remained is Js into Qs divided by R. What is R in case of solid? R in case of solid shaft is diameter divided by 2. Whereas in case of hollow shaft, it is d1 by 2. In case of solid shaft, it is d by 2. So that's what I have taken here. Js into Qs divided by d by 2. Okay. See, please note, shear stress, I have taken it as Qs, and even the polar moment of inertia, J, I have taken it as Js. Rest all the things I have kept as it is. So now substitute. How do you substitute? What is the polar moment of inertia for a solid shaft? It is pi by 32 d raised to 4. So that's what I have taken here, pi by 32 d raised to 4 into Qs divided by 2. So what remains is, this is the final formula, pi by 16 d cube into Qs. So keep it as it is. Now do it for same thing for the hollow shaft. That is JH into Qs divided by, of course, there is a small correction here. It's not d by 2, it is d1 by 2. Why d1 by 2? Because if you draw the hollow shaft and if you take the radius from the center of the circle to the top of the point, top of the circle, then it will get d1 by 2. So it's not d by 2, it is d1 by 2. Make a correction here. Okay. So when you correct this, you will get pi by 32 d1 raised to 4 minus d2 raised to 4 Qs into 2 divided by d1. Okay. So simplify this. You're going to get the final answer as TH is equal to pi by 16 d1 raised to 4 minus d2 raised to 4 whole divided by d1 into qs. Now, since he has asked you to compare the torsional, the hollow shaft and the solid shaft, I need to take, because he has asked you to compare. So the ratio I have taken here, that is TH by TS. Okay. So when you substitute, this is how I get the ratio d1 raised to 4 minus d2 raised to 4 divided by d cube d1. Now, in this particular equation, what I'll do here is, you have the first equation. What was the first equation? This d square minus d1 square minus d2 square. Okay, so use this equation and try to substitute in this particular equation. See, d1 raised to 4, see, you have the a raised to 4 minus b raised to 4. How can you write? Can I write a square minus b square into bracket a square plus b square? Yes, I can write that mathematically. So that's what I have written here. I have stated the term and I have written here. And even at the denominator, instead of here, see, here you have basically d cube. So d cube, I can write it in this way as well, right? 3 by 2, because just observe the first equation. You have the d square is equal to d1 square minus d2 square. Now d cube, instead of that, I can write it as raised to 3 by 2. Okay, so just simplify this. After simplification, these two will get cancelled, right? Because it is in numerator it is 1, denominator it is 3 by 2. So just simplify this. This is how you are going to get. And finally, if you take the LCM, okay, if you take the LCM, this is the final equation what you get. Simplify this mathematically. Okay, 1 plus d2 by d1 the whole divided by root of 1 minus d2 by d1 the whole square. Now, if you observe this carefully, numerator and denominator, what can I say? Basically, this is the ratio of TH by TS. Now, from this, I can say that numerator is very large compared to the denominator, because denominator is square root of something. So, when you take square root of something, obviously the value is going to reduce, right? So, numerator is greater than denominator. So, from this, TH by TS is equal to some value wherein numerator is greater than denominator. So, from this, can I say TH is greater than TH, yes or no? Mathematically, yes?
Yes,
That
ma'am.
means, right. So now I can say that hollow shaft is stronger. Why stronger? Because I have compared the weight. See, stronger means you need to compare the weights. How strong it is means you usually compare the weights, right? So to say that it is stronger, I have compared the weight and I have taken the ratio. Now I came to a conclusion that hollow shaft is stronger than the solid shaft. So this is my proof. Okay. Now the next point. Next point, he says to prove the stiffness. Prove that it is more stiffer than the solid shaft. First of all, what is stiffness? Let me tell you that. Stiffness is defined as the torque required to produce unit rotation in a unit length. Right? So here, what I can do here is usually taken as K. Stiffness is taken as K. Okay. So now K by J is equal to G into 1 divided by 1, because it is take for the unit rotation and for a unit length. See, instead of G theta by L, theta means unit rotation means I have taken it as 1. For a unit length, so I have taken it as 1. Okay. So K by J is G1 divided by 1. So what remains is K is equal to G into J. Okay. Now K as such, it simply means that Gj. Okay. Where G is the shear modulus and J is the polar moment of inertia. Okay. So now just you got the formula for stiffness K. Now let's assume that Ks be the stiffness for solid shaft, Kh be the stiffness of hollow shaft. So now you have the formula G into J here. Okay. So Ks is stiffness of solid shaft. Just substitute here. G, keep it as it is. That is the shear modulus. What is J for a solid shaft? Pi by 32 d raised to 4. Next, take it for KH. Pi by 32 d1 raised to 4 minus d2 raised to 4. Now once again, since he has asked you to compare the stiffness of hollow and solid shaft in the ratio, that is KH by KS. So I have taken a ratio here, KH by KS. Now once again, simplify this mathematically. This is what you're going to get. D1 raised to 4 minus D2 raised to 4 divided by D square. Now once again use your first equation. What is your first equation? Yes, this is your first equation. D square minus D1 square is equal to D1 square minus D2 square. So use this equation. So once again simplify this. So when you simplify, this is what you're going to get. Okay. So D1 square plus D2 square divided by D1 square minus D1 square minus D2 square. See, now compare the numerator and denominator. Just try to substitute some values. Okay. So when you compare the numerator and denominator, obviously the numerator is greater than the denominator. So kh by ks is equal to some value wherein numerator is greater than denominator. What I can say? I can simply say that stiffness of a hollow shaft is greater than the stiffness of a solid shaft. That is, kh is greater than the ks. So now here I have proved that hollow shaft is stiffer than the solid shaft. So this you might get a question, prove that it is stiffer and it is stronger, or else any one you can get. Okay. So I'll go to the next problem now. So my last problem from the torsion part. Okay. So let's go through this question. You have a solid shaft which transmits 250 kilowatt at 100 RPM. Okay. So you have a solid shaft now which transmits 250 kilowatt power at 100 RPM. If shear stress is not to exceed 75 megapascal, what should be the diameter of the shaft? Okay. So what he is saying is, he has given you the shear stress, that is 75 Newton per mm square. So he is asking you to calculate the diameter. Next, it's not the end of the story. If the shaft is to be replaced by hollow one, if that shaft, whatever you have designed, if that has to be replaced by a hollow one whose internal diameter is 0.6 times the outer diameter, then determine the size and percentage saving in weight. Okay, so and even the maximum shear stress being the same. So this is your what he is saying is, first of all, a solid shaft was given to you. He asked you to calculate the diameter. Next, what he is saying is that solid shaft, by keeping the same size, design it as a hollow shaft, and now check out how much percentage saving in weight you can observe. Because compared to solid and hollow, the percentage saving in weight will be in hollow itself. How much percentage saving in weight you can observe? That's what your question is. Okay. So now start writing the given conditions. M is 100. QS is given to you 75 Newton per mm square. P is the power required, which is already being given 250 kilowatt. So convert this in Newton mm per second, that is 10 raised to 6. Now use the power equation 2 pi nt by 60. Now with this calculate the torque P, that is 23.8732 into 10 raised to 6 Newton mm. Now since shear stress is given to you, use the shear stress criteria, that is T by J is equal to Q by R. With this I have calculated the diameter, that is D is equal to 117.473 mm. So now I got this diameter for a solid shaft. I have designed it for a solid shaft. So now what I'll do here is this solid shaft I'll convert into a hollow shaft. Okay, how do I convert? Just observe this. Let's assume that D1 be the outer diameter, D2 be the inner diameter. Okay, D2 is 0.6 times the D1. It has already been given to you. Okay, D2 is 0.6 times the D1. Now write the torque equation for a hollow shaft, that is T by J is equal to Qs by R. Okay, T by J is Qs by R. J is 5 by 32 D1 raised to 4 minus D2 raised to 4. So instead of D2, I have taken it as 0.6 times D1. Next, Qs divided by D1 by 2. Torque was already given to you. So when you use this, this is what you get. D1 is 123.036, D2 is 73.822. Now this is not the end of the story. He has asked you to compare the weight. So to compare the weight, what you need? You need density, you need area, you need length. Because weight is nothing but density into area into length. You need to compare the weight. So first of all, let me calculate area. That is area for hollow and area for solid. So this is what I got. Okay. Next, percentage saving in weight is weight of solid shaft minus weight of hollow shaft divided by weight of solid shaft into 100. Okay. So see, weight is nothing but, what is weight basically? Density into area into length. So density into length, I have taken it outside, both the sides, as you can see here. What remained is only area. So area for solid, area for hollow divided by area for solid. Area value you have already calculated. Substitute here and this density and length will get cancelled. So what remained is finally it is 29.795% saving in weight. Okay. So now you have basically what you did, you designed a solid shaft, you converted it into hollow shaft. So the percentage saving in weight, the weight reduction, the percentage saving was 29.795%. And that's why hollow shaft is better compared to the solid shaft. Okay. So I hope this point is clear to you. So this is all about the torsion chapter. Okay. Because of the delay in class, we could not extend this class. Okay. So in the next session, we'll go through the columns and struts. Okay. So is this clear to you? I want everyone to practice this because the torsion notes was already been sent to you. Practice that. If you face any difficulty, you can always contact me. Okay. So in the next class, we'll start with the columns and struts chapter. So even columns and struts is quite easy chapter. You can go through that. And regarding torsion, follow the concepts. If you face any difficulty, you can always approach. And as far as third internal is considered, as such, it is like entire all the 5 modules will be included in the third internal. But still, you can, since the previous chapters were already being covered, what you can practice is bending stress, shear stress, torsion, and even probably in 3 days, I'm going to complete this columns and struts. So all the 4 concepts you are supposed to practice thoroughly. Okay. So because previous session, you have already practiced the previous things, that is in the first internal and second internal. But third internal, concentrate on all these concepts. Okay. So if you have a difficulty, you can always get back. And I have already sent you the question papers. Try to practice that. If you face any difficulty in the model question papers, you can approach. Okay. So that's all for this today's class. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Okay.